welcome to a short demo on UV mapping in Maya 2018. We've got a geometry here. It's a polygon chest plate for a robot, and what we want to put on here is a logo. So we want to have essentially a fairly straightforward, simple, plasticky robot shader, and we're working in Arnold, so we're going to have a dome, sky dome light there as our main source of light. So let's just get into UV mapping here. We want to open up our UV editor and create an automatic UV set. First thing I want to show you is the seams and the way that this particular piece of geometry, and it's different depending on which geometry you start with. So we just want to show you just where the seams are, and you can see them, they run there down the geometry here. You can see them in white, and you can see them corresponding over here on our UV mapping editor. So we want to select these. This is going to be the face of my robot, and so the front is going to be seen in this instance, and this side here. So we want to make sure that we have good stitching along the front area here. So we're going to start with this part here. I'm going to select one of those. I can see it corresponding here, so I'm going to shift select along this seam up through here like that, and you can see that it's just connecting to one other piece there. Once I go up here, you can see that it's actually into a third piece. I'm just going to take my time with this. I'm going to go along here, and I'm going to sew, cut, move, and sew. And you can see if I select this section of UV and move it up just off the coordinates, the 0 to 1 coordinates of my texture, which is this blue area, you can see that that started to stitch together quite nicely. Let's choose the next piece. I'm going to choose this seam down here. Again, I go to my edge, select that. Okay, so this is now coming down through here. So I'm going to select this 1, 2, all the way down, just like we did before. And yep, cut and sew, move and sew. There we go. Okay. This is going to make a difference up here. I'm going to be seeing this part, and it could overlap with my logo that I'm going to put up. So I'm going to select these all the way along, one all the way through here. Yeah. See how this one looks. Not too bad. I could ease that out a little bit. And I am going to stitch this side as well. So I'm going to stitch this edge because I'm more likely to see it on my model. So coming down this side. No, that's going into another piece over here, so I'm not going to work on that just yet. Okay, and oh, I see, right. So we've got both of these stitched in here. I'm not going to worry about this at the moment and concentrate more on the position on the 0 to 1 mapping there. I'm going to move these out of the way. Now the rotation here does matter. I'm going to square up the area I want to look at through here. Just square it up with my grid so that I can more easily find it. Okay, so if I select all of my geometry there, image UV snapshot, I'm going to call this logo 11. I'm going to do a 2K image. It doesn't have to be a Maya IFF. It can be anything down here. I'm going to choose a JPEG this time. Close. Jump over to Photoshop. Logo 11. Okay, so you can see here my UV mapping. I'm just going to choose a base color, something like this, for my model. Okay, now my logo, I have just there. I'm going to bring that in, and I'm going to put it here on the left hand chest plate area. Just arrange it like that. Hide my UV mapping. There's my texture. Save this out. Logo 11. Color. I'm also just going to make a alpha matte channel. Okay, back to Maya. Let's just hide this for now because we've sort of done with our UV mapping. Assign new material. I'm going to go for a standard surface. There it is. My color is going to be the file that I created before. It is color. Okay, let's have a look. There we go. There is my shiny new logo sitting on my robot chest. Now, I want to just show you just one next step, which is just to have a look at some effects in there. If I okay. So I've got my color there, which is my mapped logo. I'm going to look at transmission, which is my transparency, and my specular. And in here, I'm going to attach another file, which is going to be my alpha that I created, my matte. Okay. And same thing, if I grab my textures, which one is it? File 6, I'm just going to rename that as logo, so I can find it again. I'm going to put a little bit of transmission weighting on there. Grab my logo. There we go. Now what does that do? The idea would be to make it look like a sticker is sitting on top of a plasticky surface. So here's my standard surface. I'm going to go down and I'm going to go thin plastic, replace all. Bring my texture mapping, my weighting back up. I've got my specular. I've got my transmission. There's my transparency. Let's have a look at it. Now the alpha's working because I've got it looking like a sticker on a surface, but it's pretty lousy at the moment. Let's just bring this back down. Okay. Calm these all down. And we've got something that does look, once this renders a little bit, like a logo sitting on the surface. There we go, I hope that helped.